Begging for it. Happy birthday, Jenna. Maybe we had something planned later. Well, hey, guys, the big thing we got planned later, scrap it. Scrap it. She wanted it now. You could have 3 cookies later, 1 cookie right now. You wanted it right now. My God.
Of attention, and I got it, and now we move on.
50 is a big one.
Thank you. Yes, 50.
27.
Is a big one. 27 is even bigger.
All the guys out there want to know. Jenna letting you know. Holla, 27.
All the guys are wondering.
They had a
There
chance
are
when
more
you were
rumors
27.
swirling around Antonio Brown and Odell Beckham.
Let's go.
There
Let's talk
could be a new quarterback emerging on top of the draft charts, but we are going to start this program the way we've been starting a lot of programs with LeBron
This is going to be a tight show.
and the Lakers. Love you both. Another day, another bad loss for a Laker team that really doesn't have any losses to give away. Last night, they fell to the lowly Grizzlies, 110-105. LeBron did have a triple-double, but he was just 8 of 23 from the field. Lakers once again struggled with chemistry, once again struggled on defense. They're 3 games back of the 8th seed now with 22 games left to go. Here's LeBron James on what he thinks is going on.
At this point, if you are still allowing distractions to affect you, the way you play, then this is the wrong franchise to be a part of, and you should just come and be like, listen, I can't do this. Like, seriously, if you're distracted by playoff pushes and then all the stuff that's been talked about this year, just come and do your job. We do our job at a high level, and that's not a distraction. That's what you want. That's what you want every game. You want to feel like you're fighting for something.
Nick, why did the Lakers lose last night?
Well, same old, same old. No defensive intensity to start the game whatsoever. They actually finally had their best stretch of defense they've had in maybe a month to start the 4th quarter, but that coincided with them having as bad of a stretch of offense as you can have, so it erased any progress they had there. Ridiculous coaching decisions once again. Lance Stevenson, the only guy off the bench who does anything for you in the first half. He, of course, gets 1 second of playing time in the second half, inexplicably. And LeBron's not LeBron right now. I mean, this is undeniable. LeBron said he's going to activate playoff mode, and I understand since he said that, he has averaged a triple-double, and he's given you, I think it's 27, 10, and 12 a night, but he's not LeBron. He is laboring. He is not exploding the way we're used to. And on defense, he's not a non-factor. He's a negative factor right now. These are all just obvious things to the eye. It's just like it's obvious he is playing at the heaviest weight, which is hurting his conditioning, all which lingers back to the injury. But none of that should be enough to lose to the Grizzlies. None of that should be enough to lose to the Hawks. None of that should be enough to have gotten blown out by the Pacers without Victor Oladipo. This team's a mess right now. And so I understand Laker fans this morning are mad about some very bad calls in the 4th quarter, and people are mad about a lot of things that Joe Kim Noah, all of a sudden, it was his birthday yesterday. He hit the Wayback Machine. I don't care about any of it. The Grizzlies, allowing the Grizzlies to score 34 points in the 1st quarter is like giving up a 50-point quarter to a real NBA offense. This is the worst offense in basketball over the course of the season, and it's gotten worse since they lost Marc Gasol, and you're playing uphill the entire game once again. This could have been a great night for the Lakers. Spurs lost again. Kings lost. You had real opportunity to make up ground, and instead, after beating the Rockets, you lose to the Pelicans with no Anthony Davis. You lose to the Grizzlies with the team they're running out there. It's not inexplicable, but it is unforgivable.
Maybe we just, because of LeBron's injury, we didn't want to make that an excuse, so we just made that part of the conversation. Maybe the Lakers won't get back to the level that they had before LeBron. The night LeBron got injured, they beat the Warriors. Maybe we would be better off served thinking this Lakers team won't get back to that level. Now, do they miss Lonzo Ball? They really, really do. But they also missed the real LeBron James. LeBron said he was going to activate the playoff LeBron. When he went to hit the button, it didn't activate.
Correct.
Because in the last 2 games, regardless of what the numbers say, when you watch LeBron, with all the eyes on LeBron, as close as we watch LeBron, he's not the same. Nick is admitting it. He does look like he's laboring more. He does look like he weighs more. He can't get to the basket with ease the way that he used to. Missed some bunnies last night, right there, point blank range. Didn't have the type of lift that we're expecting. So for me, it's LeBron is not who he was. This roster wasn't constructed well. They don't have enough shooters. They're not very, very athletic. And you talk about the young Lakers, they don't like the pressure that they're under now. LeBron talked about, man, when you're playing for this type of franchise, did Rob Pelinka and did Magic Johnson in drafting these players and the free agent players they got this offseason, they're not a good fit. And I don't have to wait till the end of the regular season to be able to see that. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something drastic. Like, this is the kind of road trip. You go to New Orleans without AD. You go to Memphis and give up that type of loss there. Typically, this is the kind of night a coach gets fired.
But if his coach was going to get fired, it would have been after the Hawks game before the All-Star break, where you have over a week to kind of and
when they didn't do it there, that to me means they might be stuck for the rest of the season.
And listen, the NBA is a players' league. LeBron James, up until a few weeks ago, was still unanimously considered the best player in the world. That might be changing as of this morning or yesterday or tomorrow. But we know the level LeBron, when he's fully operational, can take a team to. We didn't see it 9 years ago. We saw it 9 months ago in the NBA playoffs, right? So we know that exists. So this is on the players. But Luke Walton has been a travesty. There are 4 guys last night for the Lakers. LeBron, Kuzma, Ingram, and Bullock all played an entire 12-minute quarter without a rest. Why? Once again, I think because he just lost track of time. Mike Muscala played 13 minutes the first game they acquired him. He then was a DNP coach's decision every game until last night, where he plays, 11 and a half minutes. Why? No idea. And on the front office side of things, forget the draft picks. Like, those guys need to develop. When they took Lonzo and Ingram at number 2, both picks, people weren't criticizing those picks. Now, maybe they should have been savvier, but those were the consensus picks there.
Yes.
But the free agent signings, everyone criticized. And then how about the midseason move? Your best center, Zubac, is traded for Mike Muscala. Why? I don't know. There are so many things outside of the players that the team is working against what should be the obvious goal, because you wonder, is the GM really an NBA GM, and is the coach really an NBA coach?
Well, then that leads us to ask, where do you go from here? How do you finish out the season and hope you're actually going to move forward and not stay stagnant? I mean, you see it from LeBron. He's more frustrated and expresses that frustration more and more. I mean, we're starting every show with comments LeBron makes after a game, which, look, last year you didn't have a great team, but you didn't hear this level of frustration from LeBron James.
Well, for one, he was in the Eastern Conference. He's dominated the Eastern Conference with a tremendous amount of confidence. And if they could get healthy in Cleveland, how many teams could beat the Cavs last year? Maybe one in the Celtics, which they took them to the hilt.
Pacers damn near did.
Yeah, but that team wasn't good enough to be able to beat a LeBron James Cavs. So, no, they're stuck. This is the roster, all right? And when you look back at it, I'm going to look back at not getting Anthony Davis and being able to, those players that they talked about being involved in those trades, they haven't responded as well. The organization hadn't responded as well. So it's going to be a lost season. The first season you get LeBron James to Los Angeles could be a lost season. And the only hope would be, man, Sacramento, San Antonio, and what they've been doing down the stretch, not playing the type of basketball that we had seen them play for the first 2/3.
That's the only reason the Lakers are still alive.
Right.
Listen, they have to go at this point 15-7 the rest of the way minimum to have a chance. There is nothing we've seen over the last, basically since Christmas Day, the day LeBron got hurt, that makes you think they can. And I want to make this very clear. A lot of this falls on LeBron. And people will say, well, it's LeBron because he has not been the same guy since the injury. I think that is true, but the injuries can be an explanation rather than an excuse, but they're a reality. And part of the reason that LeBron James is a one of one in the NBA is prior to this year, you never had to worry about this. What if he gets dinged and he's not fully operational? What if he gets dinged and at the end of the year, because of that, he doesn't have his full stamina? That has never been
something
a problem. And now we're seeing a guy, I guess maybe one of the downsides, the only downside to having never been hurt, I don't know that he knew how to deal with the conditioning and the training during an injury because he'd never had one, because he does not look anything close right now to the best player in the world.
Well, you mentioned you'd like to see him go 15-7. They have to go 15-7. They've gone 4-10 over the